It's been about 4 years since the release of Borderlands 1. Now after 4 years of waiting for a sequel, what do we get? Generally a $60 expansion pack to the first game. Now what I mean by this is that Borderlands 2 retains the look and experience of Borderlands 1 while adding new guns, new areas to explore, new badass bosses, and so on. So let's get down to it, shall we? The game has an endless pit of guns, quite literally. The amount of guns in this game are uncountable. However, it does come with limitations. For example, the gun designs are repetitive, or it may as well just be the same design with different stats in some situations. Still, having such an overwhelming amount of variants of guns makes it that much more satisfying to loot and plunder. Borderlands 2 takes place in an open world rather than the overused linear structure that so many first-person shooters currently use. While again there's the drawback of having to initialize a travel to get from one section of the world to the other, regardless, it's still fun as hell to travel and explore the world of the Borderlands.
So, I might have tried to stage a mutiny on Captain Flint's ship before the flash freeze, which explains why his men are currently beating the crap out of me, right guys? Shut up! Okay!
Enough. That wasn't so difficult.
There's a massive array of enemies to fight. Rather than fighting a boring average everyday human, except for those Goliaths, and you'll know why if you've encountered them, you've got Threshers, Chrysalids, Creepers, and yes I did say Creepers, and yes it is a Easter egg, Stalkers, Varkids, and the list goes on. Just be careful not to get too close while you stare at them, they tend to attack you. Certain enemies can evolve. Now what I mean by this is that if they become aggressive and attack you or their allies, they can actually rank up. For example, take a Goliath from Borderlands 2. Now if you manage to shoot his mask off, he'll actually rampage and attack his allies, and you of course. The more he kills, the stronger he becomes.
Now head to Sanctuary and find Roland. He'll want to meet the Vault Hunter who stared down Handsome Jack and lived.
Borderlands 2 has a legitimate story behind it. Rather than the stale "there's elite treasure box at the end of the game, go get it" story, with no actual motivation for the player to want to get the treasure other than curiosity that Borderlands 1 used, there's a clear, well-written antagonist and story in Borderlands 2. Even the characters you played as in Borderlands 1 make an appearance in Borderlands 2 as your allies. Hell, there's even a major plot twist that gives some story to Borderlands 1. You'll see what I mean when you see it. They've balanced out the classes in Borderlands 2. Remember Borderlands 1 where class mods can turn you into a health and ammo regenerating beast? Yeah, well there's none of that in this game, or as far as I'm aware of. The class mods I've seen instead can boost your weapon damage, add a considerable amount of skill points to certain skills, and so on. They've also brought in Iridian relics. which you can equip to boost certain abilities such as more melee damage, more ammo capacity for certain weapons, longer boost speeds with vehicles, and much more.
Let us in, Grinder! We're only gonna kill every last one of you!
Shields dynamically change the way you play the game. Now, not all shields work this way. However, certain shields give tremendous buffs which literally turns you into a beast. For example, a shield I picked up from farming boss over and over again allows me to fire amp shots infinitely, as long as my shield stays fully charged and my ammo capacity isn't depleted. This single shield allows me to take out hostile NPCs in just a few shots, rather than wasting half of an entire magazine to put down one NPC. The downside to this is that my amp shot capabilities are disabled if my shield isn't at full capacity. The replay value in this game is decent. This is actually a rare find in recent shooters. They've mostly been following the extremely common formula of having a linear campaign and then snapping on a multiplayer that's plagued with terrible connectivity and a terrible excuse for a killstreak system or whatever they call it nowadays. Back to Borderlands 2. After finishing the game once, you have the choice of playing through it again with true Vault Hunter mode or playing through the entire campaign on a different character. Although playing through the story again may seem bland and repetitive, true Vault Hunter mode changes the enemy names, their difficulty, and adds a larger, stronger arsenal of guns to use. Gun designs can become repetitive. Now I may be nitpicking here, but they really can become repetitive. However, this is a predictable drawback from having billions of guns. You'll often see guns use the same reload animation over and over again, and you may see that the only distinct differences between guns are the colors, sights, and stats of the weapon. This isn't a big issue though, and you may be able to overlook this.
Booyah! You're the most fearsome warrior this glacier has ever seen, pal!
The PC release has been glitchy. At the time this was written, there were numerous glitches that plagued the PC launch. The most considerable one wiped out the badass ranks and tokens which you've accumulated. I'd recommend anyone looking to buy or already have bought Borderlands 2 to back up their profile just in case this glitch happens to them.
Damn shield!
The Golden Key exploit. Now this exploit or issue was created by the community, obviously. This exploit can ruin the balance of the multiplayer. If you don't care for the multiplayer, don't worry about this. Now I'm not sure whether or not this issue has been fixed or patched. However, this exploit basically allows the user to replace their profile with a modified profile, which gives them a massive amount of golden keys. The user can then use these golden keys at the golden chest at the main town to gain access to powerful weapons. This can ruin the fun in looting and plundering, and it basically reduces the game to constantly reopening a chest over and over again, then using that overpowered arsenal to breeze through the game. Some users may not have a problem with this, some may despise this.
Thank you. Hyperion's gonna have to spend billions in legal fees once this hits the courts. I'm sorry I can't offer you more.
The last encounter with Handsome Jack is disappointing. Now I don't think I'm spoiling too much with this, just know that you shouldn't expect too much with your final showdown with him. Anyone who's complaining about me spoiling the game's ending at this point should go and get their IQs checked. After all, Handsome Jack has been taunting you for the entire game and practically has a sign on his head stating villain. If you didn't see a last encounter with him coming, and you really shouldn't be playing a game like this.
Ghosty!
Guys, I've heard rumblings that our iridium mining operations are ravaging this planet. You know, I assume you're saying this because most of you didn't see what Pandora looked like before we showed up. You know what they called this place? The Badlands. It was a dry, dusty pisshole where dreams went to die. Now there's pipes full of beautiful iridium, technologically advanced machines, goddamn volcanoes. I mean, who doesn't love volcanoes? They're mountains that explode fire. That's literally the definition of the word awesome. Am I right?
Issues like loot distribution are a major problem in the multiplayer. Loot distribution is a free-for-all in the multiplayer. Whoever grabs loot gets the loot. You can probably guess the obvious issues that arises from this. Quests, on the other hand, rewards the loot to everyone in your game. Money and iridium are also distributed to everyone upon picking it up. However, rare guns that you get from chests and dead enemies can only be picked up by one user and one user alone.
To my weaponry. Goodbye.
Some of the skills available in the skill tree are downright boring. Action skills are awesome. Skills that buff the action skills are also awesome. Passive skills which give slight buffs to accuracy and reload speed? Pretty damn boring. You can do so much more with the skill tree, but the majority of the skills in the skill tree are just little passive buffs which don't do anything noticeable. How about adding more than one action skill to each class? Or skills that don't work the same way as an action skill but aren't passive? Just firing off a few ideas here, feel free to take notes. This game is definitely worth a buy if you're a fan of shooters and RPGs. The issues that are listed in the bad list are mostly just me nitpicking at the game looking for bad things to talk about. Chances are that the glitches in the game should be patched by now, and the exploit is either patched or really isn't a bad thing. Well, at least to the people playing the game. Who doesn't want better guns, am I right? Borderlands 2 is a great open world shooter with a few unfortunate setbacks and issues.
You're never getting into Sanctuary, you bloodshot skaglicks. Hold up, you're a Vault Hunter. Just a sec, Roland wanted to talk to you. Let me echo him. Oh, so you're the one I've been hearing all this radio chatter about. Name's Roland. I used to be a Vault Hunter like you, until I formed the Crimson Raiders. We'll catch up when I get back to Sanctuary. For now, I need your help. My men tell me Corporal Reese hasn't returned the power core that we need to keep the city shields running. Bring Reese back to Sanctuary, and you'll earn your place in the Raiders.
Roland's contacted you? Good. Listen to what he says. He can help us defeat Jack.